For my presentation, I chose to cover the struggles of transgender people and what they go through. Why did I choose this topic? I chose this topic because I think it's one of the most prominent social issues of our time, as there's a lot of public debate about it. And just this year, so far, there have been 859 anti trans bills proposed, and 83 of which have been passed. And I include a link here, which is a tracker to see how many are currently introduced or passed. And it's really sad because transgender people deal with near constant hate and discrimination from the general public. Um, and I also have a lot of trans friends that I care about, so I chose to cover this issue. From my interview with my friend, some key takeaways was that she knew who she was from a very early age, but was forced to hide this until later on in life. And she still tries to hide her trans identity in public out of fear of discrimination, which is sad. And she's dealt with a lot of rejection from family and others, which has caused a negative self image. And she feels like she needs to present or do certain things to gain more social acceptance. So these are my journal or research journals that I included, and I'll just go through and kind of say a little bit about each one. So clinicians report less comfort in provisions of medical care to non-binary transgender youth. And this article was about how even among trans people, discrepancies exist between binary and non-binary transgender individuals, with non-binary people being less likely to be provided gender-affirming care. And this article is titled Physical Health in Transgender and Non-Binary Adults, the Role of Minority Stress and General Physiological Processes. And this article is discussing how transgender people are more likely to experience poor health outcomes due to the stress and lack of social services. So, for instance, they're more likely to be low income, which is correlated with having less healthy options available. This one is Policy and Health Justice, a conceptual model relating the legislative climate to the suicide disparity among transgender and gender diverse youth. And this one was talking about how transgender people are more likely to have poor mental health outcomes and to commit suicide. And this is also on the rise with anti-trans legislation, which has been shown to correlate with this higher rates. And then perceived stress predicts drug use in transgender women, the mediating role of loneliness. And this talks about how trans people, and specifically trans women, are more likely to suffer from substance use disorders, as they deal with a lot of stress from social stigma and have higher levels of loneliness, which causes them to seek out comfort in different drugs. And understanding and addressing disinformation and gender-affirming healthcare bans. And this one talks about the recent current of anti-trans bills, which are based on unscientific information and hateful misinformation, as all reputable medical groups agree that gender-affirming care is the best practice and is beneficial for trans people. So, in conclusion, transgender people suffer from social stigmatization, which results in worse mental health outcomes, or just health outcomes in general, and quality of life. And the overwhelming scientific consensus is that transgender people are valid and that the best treatment is gender affirming care. And we can also help improve their quality of life by supporting and affirming their identities, which helps lessen the negative outcomes that are often seen. And then here's my reference list, and that was my presentation. Thank you.